Today we're going to learn how to move and copy files inside of the terminal. For that, we'll go inside of our terminal, but this time I'll use my file explorer that you see here on the right so that we can have a visual understanding of on what is happening. As you can see here, the path on top, I'm inside of my desktop folder, inside of my Linux fundamentals folder, and then there we go. We can see the lab folder. So I will click on it and we can see there are three files in one folder. If I do ls, we'll see the exact content inside of this folder. So in fact, we are in the same place on both sides, in the file explorer and on the terminal. So um, the first thing we'll do is to move a file. So for that, we'll use our command called mb. Let's say we want to move this file named John inside of the letters folder. For that, I'll just type the command move followed by the name of the file and finally the place where we want this file to go. Click enter and see what happens on my file explorer as well. So as soon as I click enter, we can see that that file got moved to another place. So if we do a quick ls, which stands for list, and we type the name of the folder to see the content that is inside of that folder, and click enter, we can see that this folder, John, is now inside of the letters folder. So we can confirm that here in our file explorer by double clicking on the letters folder, and we can see that this John txt file is in it. So we will go back to the lab folder. I'm going to clear my screen in the terminal. And let's say that this time I want to rename a file. So we can also use this mb command. So it isn't just for moving files, it can also be used for rename files. Let's say I type, let me do an ls. Let's say I type this MacDAO name incorrectly. The correct name is actually McDonald. So I'll use this mb or move command, type the name of the file in question, and then I'll just type the new name, McDonald.txt. If I click enter, see what happens on my right side with this file. It automatically got renamed, right? So that way we can see that it also can be used for renaming files. But now, let's say we want to combine both use case, right? I want to move a file and also I want to rename it at the same time. So let's combine both actions. So let's say we want to move this file right here. I'll clear my screen and do again an ls. I want to move this Steve file mb. Where I want to move it, I want to move it inside of my letters folder, but now I want it to be called differently. Instead of Steve, it's going to be called Steven.txt. Click enter and let's see what happens. So the first thing that you can see in the file explorer is that the file is no longer there, right? So if we do an ls inside of the labs folder, the file is no longer there. But we want to see if it actually got moved. So we will do ls and then put the name of the folder we want to see. And now we can see that there are two files, the one that we moved previously named John, and now this new file named Steven. Remember what was the previous name? It was Steve. And then with this command, we got it moved to the letters folder and renamed to Steven. And in fact, that is actually what happened here. So let's use our file explorer to confirm that. Let's get inside of on the letters folder. And there we go. We can see the file here with the new name or the renamed. So one command and two tasks. done instantly at the same time. So we will now use another command, and this is for copying files. This is the cp command, and yeah, let's take a look at it. So what this does is that leaves the original file in place and creates a duplicate. So if I want to copy, let's see what we have inside of our labs folder. So we can see that we only have the McDonald file here in my file explorer, but I want to, you know, stick with the terminal. So we will do ls, and I want to make another version of this folder, of this, I'm sorry, file. So what I can do is do cp, the name of the file, and then rename it McDonald underscore backup dot txt. Let's click enter, and automatically you can see that a new file got created. Let's do an ls, and there we go. We have the two files now that were created. Or if I want to copy this file in another folder and probably at the same time rename it, is that possible with the cp command? So let's test it. So now let's say this McDonald file that I have here, this one, I wanted to copy that one, but that copy I want it to be saved inside of the letters folder, but now I want to rename it back to what it was originally named, McDowell. So let's do cp, select the file in question, McDonald.txt. Where we want to copy this, we want to copy it inside of the letters folder, and we want it to be named McDowell.txt. Let's see if that happens, if that works. Okay, so let's do clear our screen, and now this time we will do ls letters to see what's inside of this letters folder. And there we go, we have three files, John, Stephen, and McDowell. If we double click here our folder in our file explorer, we can see that all three files are there. So it worked as expected. Okay, so another thing I want to show you with this copy command is that what if we want to copy a folder? So what if we want to copy this letters folder? Will these work? Let's test it. Letters. Let's copy another one and call it, I don't know, house. It didn't work, right? And this is because for folders we have an special option, and which is cp-r, which stands for reverse. And if you don't use it, it won't let you copy a folder. And this is because this recursive means and tells Linux to copy everything inside of that folder. So let's test it. We will do cp-r letters, and we want to copy that to another folder named house. Let's see if it works. And there we go. You can see on my file explorer that it got created. But let's do an ls inside of the terminal just to confirm. And we have two new, well, we have a new folder, house. If we get inside of that house folder, cd house, and do an ls, we'll see that the same content is inside of it because everything got copied from letters. All right, so a quick best practice that I can show you here is that avoid spaces in folders names. The spaces make, commands harder to type because you need codes. For example, if you have something that you wanted to call it, or you want it to be like, for example, uh, North House. If you want to call a folder, uh, let's just test it, North House. This won't let you. You will actually need to actually use codes. This to specify that in fact, are two words for just one folder, and will make it harder for you to use it in another um, comments. So what it's recommended is to use something like nord underscore house, for example, and this will make everything much easier to work with. So what's next? Now that we have already learned how to copy comments, sorry, files, folders, and also how to move them, and that you know how to rename them, um, what we're going to do in the next lesson is that we're going to look at how to delete files and folders safely. So I hope you liked this lecture. I hope everything was useful for you. I hope you were able to understand how to move files, rename files, move and rename at the same time, copy files and copy folders. So see you next on the next video. Goodbye.